Hello and welcome to another episode of the Signal Sportscast. I'm the host, Marco Alvarado, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Astros, what they did this past opening weekend all the way up to this past Wednesday, and also some Rockets talk as they end their season here pretty soon. So sit back, relax, and let's jump right into it. The Houston Astros face the Chicago White Sox here at Minute Maid Park opening weekend. They opened up the season this past Thursday with opening day with the big banner unveiling of the pennant. They ended up splitting the series against the White Sox 2-2 here at Minute Maid Park. Your starting rotation was Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, Jose Urquidy, and Luis Garcia. Framber's game was a loss. They dropped it opening day again in a 3-2 loss. Christian Javier had the bump the next day. Astros got the win 6-3. When Jose Urquidy took the bump, they took the W 4-6, and also credited Joe Kelly with the loss, but we'll get into that here in a second. And then Luis Garcia took the mound for the last game against the White Sox, ended up losing 6-3. Then the Detroit Tigers came to town, and the Astros dropped that series 2-1 here at Minute Maid Park. Your starting rotation was Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, and Christian Javier. And the games that they have played, this was the scores in this exact order: 7-6 loss, 6-3 loss, 8-2 win. So whenever Javier took the mound that night, or day game I should say, they won 8-2. So going back to the White Sox series, the one thing I want to point out is Joe Kelly's loss this season. If you don't know who Joe Kelly is, back in the 2020 pandemic season, when baseball was being played and there was no fans, and around that weird period of time in our world, Joe Kelly had said a lot of stuff about the Houston Astros after the cheating scandal came out, and he just wasn't a fan when really he did the same exact thing whenever he won with the Boston Red Sox in 2018. But we're not going to talk about that at the moment. He threw at Carlos Correa, and he started like this big old fight with the Astros, and then when the Astros tried to confront him, he ran away into the dugout and stuck his tongue out. Everybody in the world thought he was a hero, when everybody here in Houston thought he was a coward, because why are you going to start something and not even finish it? So season went on. Astros went out to LA to face the Dodgers. He was still playing for the Dodgers, and he went up against Correa in Dodger Stadium, and Correa took him deep, and Dodger Stadium was booing, and so far the Astros kind of got to him in a way. Then the next season, he went ahead and signed with the Chicago White Sox, and the Astros didn't see him. Then this past weekend, he pitches against the Astros. Mind you, still talking trash about the Astros. He ended up walking some people. He allowed some hits, and he got credited with his first loss this season by the Astros. So everybody at Minute Maid was booing him as soon as he came out of the away bullpen. Again, out of all the stuff that he had been saying all the way up to now, he was pitching for a whole different team, not with the Dodgers, and he got credited with his loss because he gave up hits and he walked some people. So that's the story with Joe Kelly and the Houston Astros. But moving on from the White Sox series, the Tigers came into town, took the series win 2-1. Your starting rotation against the Tigers was Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, and Christian Javier. Hunter Brown, in his game, took the loss in extra innings, 7-6. In the Framber game, the Astros lost 6-3. And in the Christian Javier game, the day game, first of the season at Minute Maid Park, they took the win 8-2. Now, here are some points I would like to make. A lot of fans are saying Chas McCormick should start in center field, and honestly, I agree. McCormick's bat is pretty darn good right now. He had a home run in the day game, and he's been having some quality at-bats every time he makes a start. And on top of that, his defense is pretty darn good. Jose Abreu, Yordan Alvarez are literally on fire for the Astros. Yordan has hit multiple home runs up to this point, and Jose Abreu has not gotten his home run yet, but he's having good quality at bats, getting RBIs, extra base hits, whatever you can think of, he's getting on base no matter what. Also, Kyle Tucker and Jeremy Pena are starting to heat up. Kyle Tucker has been having multiple hits as well, and he hit a home run against the Tigers in the day game. And also, Jeremy Pena got his first home run against the Tigers in the day game as well. His bat has been struggling since opening weekend, and he finally had a snapped for him. So congratulations to him and Kyle Tucker. Also, Alex Bregman is starting to heat up as well. Want to get a little spotlight on him. He started this season off pretty bad, and then now he finally got his hit on Monday against the Detroit Tigers. Space City Monday, I should say. But Alex Bregman is starting to come around, folks, and the Astros bats are starting to heat up. Mind you, no Michael Brantley, no Jose Altuve. They are injured. They're on the IL. Michael Brantley currently is in West Palm Beach, starting his rehab assignment. So hopefully he'll be back up to speed here pretty soon and come back this season. The Astros face the Minnesota Twins in Minnesota. A familiar face they are facing in Carlos Correa. Again, in Minnesota, your starting rotations is going to be looking like this. Jose Urquidy, Luis Garcia, and Hunter Brown will be taking the bump. I also want to shout out Corey Julks. He is the rookie out of Friendswood, Texas, and he has been electric for the Astros. His current average right now is 316, so he's batting 316, and he has an RBI. A lot of people have been talking about him down in Sugar Land, and he finally got the call-up due to all the injuries, and he is making a splash. So be on the lookout for Corey Julks, and also keep it locked in for the Astros as they take on the Minnesota Twins this weekend. The Houston Rockets are going to be ending their season this Sunday, April 9th. Here's what their past couple games have been looking like. A loss against the Nets, 123-114 in Brooklyn. Then they had a homestand, starting with the win from the Pistons, 121-115. Then the Lakers came to town, beat the Rockets, 134-109. And then an impressive win against the Nuggets, 124-103. And the last two games they'll be playing this season will be against the Hornets and the Washington Wizards. In other news, the Rio Grande Valley Vipers were in the G League Finals, which is the minor league affiliate for the Houston Rockets. Unfortunately, they lost in the finals against the Delaware Bluecoats, which is the 76ers minor league team. Shout out to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, man, making some noise down there in the valley. Again, took a loss in the finals, unfortunately, in the series. You can find us at UHCL The Signal across social media. We'd like to hear your feedback, and also be on the lookout for our student-ran magazine called The Spectacle. We will have stuff featured with life and arts, student life, all you can think of. It's going to be featured in the magazine. And of course, get active with us. We'd like to hear your feedback. And if you want to submit anything, any questions, comments about the podcast, I will gladly be able to speak about that on the show, depending on what you say, of course. I'm Marco Alvarado, and this has been the Signal Sportscast.